Something I'd like to talk about that I got a phone call today. Somebody broke over a month 10 chains, and I asked them had they been sitting before they were used, and they said yes. So there's only one thing that would cause 10 chains to break on 10 spreaders that have been sitting. They said they use chain lube, which is great, but after a spreader has been washed, one of the most important things to do is get the water off of it. A couple ways of doing that. Most important ways, like WD-40 or something on the chain and all the metal parts. Get a little oil on there and it beads the water off and runs it off. But there's other things that you can do. So I want to just kind of show what I do, especially for the chain, especially if something's going to be sitting, even if it isn't. And I want to also talk about how long chains last and how long you should use a chain, and the difference between a stainless steel chain and a nickel plated chain. All right, when you're washing your spreader off, of course you clean the hopper and everything out, get all the fertilizer out, but this is the part down here. You're hosing these chains off. And you're getting everything wet down here. One of the things about the chain is I don't believe chain lube is going to get all that water out of there. So what I like to do start off by using a blower and getting the majority of the water off with the blower. Then WD-40, I have free all here. It's kind of the same thing. All it's going to do is get the water out. Hit everything. Everything that's metal, aluminum, stainless. Soak the chain real good. Roll it, hit it all the way around, and this alone, after it's been washed, will save that chain. Now, if you're letting that chain sit for months, a couple months on your off season, go out there once a month, roll that thing around and spray it with a lubricant, maybe a chain lube or something at that point if it's not wet, just to keep it lubricated. The nickel plated chains are the worst as far as sitting. Stainless steel aren't as bad, but we'll talk about nickel plated and stainless steel in a minute. Now this is something else that I do. This is how I like to lubricate the chain. Just some old motor oil. Just some motor oil is fine. All the way around in that chain. Or buy a good, chain lubricant for motorcycles, bicycles, whatever. That also works. But motor oil is good on these chains to lubricate them. So those are some of the things that you can do to make that chain last. Make sure, of course, I'm not doing it in this video, but roll the spreader forward and get all the way around the whole chain. All right, a little bit about nickel plated versus stainless steel. These are actually a couple old chains that I had here in the barn that were just laying around. The difference between nickel plated and stainless steel is, believe it or not, they both last the same length of time. The nickel plated chain will be rusty looking. The stainless steel chain will look good. The stainless steel also, if you have those long periods where it sits and you're not oiling them, they'll actually do a little bit better, because what makes a chain break is where they get a hard spot from rust from not being lubricated while they're sitting over winter or whenever your off season is. But a nickel plated chain is going to rust sooner. Stainless steel chain is not going to rust as fast. The problem is both chains, all chains, from the torque of this machine, stretch. And if your nickel plated chain is rusted in 1 year, you'll replace it every year. If your stainless steel chain is not rusted, you'll use it for several years. The problem is when they stretch, they start to wear the sprockets funny. Then you shorten the life of the sprockets, which will in turn cause a little bit more maintenance down the road. So stainless steel look better longer, but they both stretch the same. Just as long as you're aware of that, the stainless steel work better for some people, and then for others, you know, the nickel plated, as a reminder, when it rusts, to replace it, they should be replaced once a year. So I hope this kind of clears up the difference between nickel plated and stainless. I do sell all the spreaders with nickel plated chains for that reason.